Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cytober Day 7th. Now, I know you might notice that it's a little darker than normal. That's by design. As you can see, I am by myself today, but that doesn't mean all my ghouls, ghosties, and goblins that this won't still be a fun episode. Now, the reason why it's dark is because I'm going to be reading a little bit from one of the books I'm working on. Just the introductory point. This book is still, I have no clue how long till it gets finished. It's a work in progress, but I thought it'd be fun to, share some of it with you. And I thought the atmosphere would, be a little better like this. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. Oh, and in case I didn't mention it, if you don't know which one of those things I mentioned earlier you are, you're a ghoul. Now, let's get to reading. Come on. I mean, I'm an author. Clearly, I'm going to be pro reading. So many people. Ooh. Okay, I do kind of like the glow on my face. I think it looks good. So, are you ready? Okay. So, this would be the introductory part of this book. So, like the first 3 pages you open up and you'll be reading. And it's a letter addressed. So, here it is. I hope this letter finds you well and that you're actually reading it. My lawyer assured me that he would get this letter to you, but if you burnt it or read it was something he could not help with. I know that there is no reason for you to give me the time of day after everything I have done for you or to you. I have done things I wish I could say that I regretted, and maybe in a completely sound mind I could. But even now, where I feel I am having a moment of clarity, I still know that I am not fully in my right mind. That being said, I have been seeing a therapist since I have been in here, and it was actually his idea for me to send you this letter. Something about helping us both to get over things that might be holding us back. The thought that me writing to you could somehow help you is comedic to me, but at the same time, if it is helpful, I am glad. After all, this is not my first stint in therapy, and from the looks of it, it won't be the last. But before I get into the actual point of this letter, I thought I would answer some questions that I imagine you have. First off, no, I have not been loved or brutally beat since being in here. I guess when you walk in and the first person you have an opportunity to by biting the jugular, it makes people question how crazy you are. And there are many criminals in here, but like any other aspect of life, you don't really F with crazy people. I don't know if you care, but the man I killed was named Blake. Jones, apparently. He was due to be released in about a month and only in here for stealing items to provide for his little sister after his parents died. I know. Tragic. Right, but I assure you I knew none of this as my teeth were sinking into his flesh, and I felt the warm blood swelling up into my mouth and cascading down my chin. The metallic smell and taste were quite strong, as you might imagine. I digress, though. Other questions you might have are if I'm able to see the light of freedom again, and I can assure you that my jailers do not see fit for me to ever walk the path of the free again. But more on that later. Now, if you are still reading, then I guess it is time to get to the actual point, right? Which is why I did what I did. Now, this is something I have yet to ever give an answer to, and honestly, it is not because I am ashamed of what I did. Quite the contrary. But because I simply did not see it as important to anyone but me. In a slightly clearer mind, though, I do think that I owe you an explanation, if nobody else, for my actions, and I am sure that you will not be pleased with my answer, as I am sure it has plagued your mind day in and day out for the last 2 years. Questions like, why you? How could this happen? Was it anything someone could have done? I am sure all those questions have surfaced in your mind, simply floating around unanswered. Now, did you know feelings can be hard to digest to understand? I'm sure you're having a lot of feelings about this letter right now, and they're sure they're mixed. At some extent, I'm sure you're excited, you're happy to finally be getting that answer that's plagued you about why. But at the same time, hearing from me must be very traumatic and bring back plenty of unpleasant memories. But I'm not just talking about other people's feelings or, your own feelings. Everyone everyone always makes it seem so easy to understand your own feelings. And if you don't, there's something wrong with you. But I don't feel that is right. Feelings in general are just hard to understand. The reason I am talking about feelings is because that's what drove me to this point in my life. I let my sense of reason and logic take a back seat as my emotions started taking over. The sad thing is that it took everything that happened, including my time here in prison and the mysterious deaths of many inmates, to fully understand my feelings towards you and in general. For the longest time, the the truly longest time, I thought that I loved you and that all that I did, and I did so much more than you or anyone else knows, was due to that love. Just looking at you drove me crazy and made me want you. I knew that we were meant to be together, that you had to feel the same way. Every night when I laid my head on my pillow, I saw you and imagined the life we would have together. Eventually, it was something that took over every aspect of my life. I convinced myself that I was your knight in shining armor, the hero that you needed, and that you would come around and see it one day. There were times when I got fed up with waiting and thought about forcing matters. But I still had some sense left, I guess, that demanded that I be patient and just keep you safe until you came around and realized that we were meant to be together. I know what you're thinking. Oh my God, he was a creepy stalker who got fixated on me. And in some ways, that is very much on the nose. But it's not quite right. Most of the time, a stalker gets fixated on the idea of someone, this picture of perfection that is in their minds, and oftentimes the real thing can never live up to their mental picture that they have developed for them. But you were never perfect to me. No, you were imperfect, and you were fine with that. I was too. You were a generic woman who had some looks and some personality. You weren't scared to be you, but at the same time there was a disconnect with how you presented yourself and how you must have really felt. You came across so confident, but as I watched you, it was easy to see that you had many insecurities, just like the rest of us. Watching you gave me a sense of who you were, and that is why I felt like I was falling in love with you. I do realize now, though, that I never truly loved you. What I felt for you was real. Oh, it was so real. It hurt at times, but I mistook it for love. The reason I mistook it is it's easy to understand. I mean, all anyone ever says about love is that it is a feeling you have of wanting to be around someone, of wanting them in your life. No one truly ever explains what love is. But I know now the difference between what I felt and love. You see, what I felt was not love, but infatuation. Infatuation is different than love because it's entirely self serving. It is a sense of, I need this. I want this. I have to have it. I saw you as the key to my happiness, and that without you, I could never achieve a happy life. That is what I felt and still feel. Love, on the other hand, is vastly different. You still want to be with the person, yes, and being with them makes you happy. That is it for the similarities, though, as love means sacrificing yourself and your happiness for someone else, even if it is not in your best interest or to make you more miserable. If it makes the other person happy, it feels worth it. All that matters to you is making the other person happy, even if that means you're not. That can mean letting them get go to pursue their own happiness or just doing everything in your power to make them happy. I know this sounds if deep at first, and if only one of the people is actually in love, it is. But if both parties are in love, and I mean actual love, not infatuation, then it is the most beautiful thing that can exist, as neither party will be sad or lacking in happiness because both parties are solely thinking about making the other happy, meaning both can be happy despite living in a system that is self sacrificing. I hope this makes sense, that makes sense to you, and I think it is almost time to get to the start of my story, or should I say our story. The thing that if you're still reading, I'm sure you have been waiting for. Without further ado, let's get to it. 6 years ago, both of our lives changed forever as our paths crossed at that little cafe on campus. It's incredible, really, to think about, isn't it? One little event, one little crossing of paths can drastically alter the course of someone's life. And yeah, that is my intro to this book. The title at the moment is still a work in progress. I have it as A Chance Encounter, a Webs of Lust and Desire novella by the D.P. But yeah, I hope you guys like that. I know this one went over 10 minutes, but it's okay. I hope you guys like that intro there. I hope that has you looking forward to the book when I eventually have it done. Especially because I plan on doing it in a twofold fashion. Like this one here, as you could tell, is coming more from his point of view. I plan on doing each book kind of in duo, releasing a his version and a her version, which will go across the same timeline, but they'll only, cross paths a couple of times in those stories, so each of them have their own stories to tell. But it's the differences that will matter on those key moments where they intersect. Because as he slowly starts losing his mind, his id, ego, and superego start vying for control, and, the one that stands for logic starts losing. Like, reality can warp. And I want to show that in the books. Like, we'll see entirely different scenarios once things really get going between what happened, as far as her recounting of it and what happened via his. And it'll be good to see those parallel dynamics there. But yeah, I hope you guys are looking forward to that, and that is the video for today. I hope you guys didn't mind the lighting. Like I said, I thought it gave a more oogie vibe, so yeah, hopefully you guys are good with it, and I will see you guys tomorrow, of course. Um, we do have more skits planned. If one of them's gonna be this week, I don't know. I mean, it depends on how you view Sunday. 'Cause I'm almost positive Sunday is gonna have a skit video. It's one I'm really looking forward to, by the way. But I don't know about Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Saturday, of course, will be me and Tell doing our normal thing. But yeah, so I don't know if it's gonna be a skit or not. But like I said, I did say there would be one this week. I technically, like I said, it depends on if you count Sunday as the end of the week or the beginning of the week. Technically, it's the beginning, but most people see it as the end. Anyways, semantics. You guys have a great one, and hopefully you'll tune back in tomorrow.